Salinger. You wake from a daydream. You. And what were you doing? You remember the small sanctuary on the southern end of the Travelers District Square. Oh yeah, you moved to the tavern to get some rest. Hmm. And how'd you get here? You find yourself in one of the tavern rooms, sitting on the bed. Poppy's sleeping nearby.
I don't recall sleepwalking being a issue before. He just checks to see if his things are still intact.
Yeah, no, everything's there. Wait, remember coming into the tavern? You searched for supplies. You needed to get some rest.
No, I suppose it's no more unusual than anything else recently. Um, is it daylight outside?
Window. There is a light, but you're not sure what time it is.
Hmm. He opens the window to let a little air in. Probably cold. Wake him up. He expects it to be cold because it's snowing, last he remembered.
Yeah. You can see snow outside. And there's a chill crispness to the air. You hear a bit of movement, maybe voices uh, outside. Um, Probably in the main portion of the tavern.
Hmm. I don't usually sleep in. He gives Poppy just a stroke down the feathers, not waking her up. You get some more rest, and straps on a coat, takes off the sleeping cap that he always uses, assuming it's there, he feels for it.
Uh, yeah, you're getting ready for bed. Supplies all still in your pack.
Hmm. All right. Puts on his slippers and heads downstairs towards the voices.
Who does Salinger see in the main portion of the tavern as he comes out from his room?
It would make sense that Peach would be there. She would have been up late, later than the rest, and after trying to sleep, came back down again. She's been making pot after pot of Hakeem and just sitting with it until the cup gets cold, and then she warm it up with a little bit of prestidigitation, and then she'll stir it till it gets cold again. And she sits there kind of rewarming the same pot of coffee of Hakeem again and again through the night. So if Salinger would come downstairs, he might see her maybe snoozing in a chair with a little cup of coffee in hand.
Seeing her snoozing, he kind of tiptoes down and gingerly takes that cup of coffee so it doesn't spill. Sets it on a table, commences to clean a few things up, leftover dishes, whatever's laying around.
Peach, the sound of like a clinking plate and fork rouse you out of your slumber, and you see Salinger collecting dishes.
Do I remember that I had that dual memory before? Do I remember what happened at all?
Yep. All that's the same for you.
Okay. Peach snaps up immediately and hugs Salinger around the waist, upper thigh, wherever the hug area is for Peach. She goes, Salinger Moral, where in The maiden or whomever, where have you been?
And as Pete shouts that, the others, except for Seifrid, hear that in the tavern.
What do you mean? I just woke up.
You've been missing in real life and missing from half our memories too. For I don't know, for at least a short rest.
Sounds like you had a weird dream. You did just wake up after all. Let me heat up a cup of coffee.
No, I'm Salinger.
Sinatra's head pops in from around the edge of the front door, and her eyes widen. She says, Salinger.
See, Shalati knows too. This wasn't a stupid dream. Oh my God, Salinger Moral.
She walks forward quickly, with the ghostly figure ever twin trailing behind her, and reaches out, almost a little hesitant at first, and touches Salinger's shoulder to make sure that he's real, and then finding the solid, steps back and folds her arms and frowns.
You're all being very strange.
No, Sal, this past period of however long, we all had kind of the thought that you were either gone, like disappeared, or that you hadn't come along with us in the first place for whatever reason we had. And we all had different wrong memories, and then the one where we all shared you were gone from. So there's something weird about this place, and I'm so happy to see you, Sal.
I'm happy to see you too. Sal sniffs the pot of caffeinated beverage and then takes a little taste with his pinky just to make sure it's not spiked or gone weird.
Peach notices she kind of punch him gently on the chest like, Salinger!
Casey nips in from some upper section of the building. And as he lands, he's already speaking. Some fireworks that way. Oh, Sal, I knew death couldn't keep you. There's fireworks going off.
Death? Is this some sort of prank? This isn't one of those birthday surprises again, is it? Because that wasn't funny 3 years ago, and it's not funny in the middle of this, frankly, extremely dangerous town.
Just as Salinger says that, you hear the sound of a shout or scream close by, maybe a few buildings over. Seifrid. The surface of what you touched, cold, burns, and it jiggles, reaches out, grabs on your arm, pulls you inside. You have just enough time to draw in a breath, then you feel burning all around. You realize, no, it's back. The Deathbird Alchemist. It's pulling you inside. What do you do? Everything around you is blurry, hazy. Looking throughout, there are some solid objects inside, but you can feel the acidic nature of the creature already burning at your skin.
I'm so sorry. I need a second.
Okay. Back to the other group. Shout. A couple buildings over.
It's part of the prank.
Casey starts pointing through his friends, presumably counting.
Desmond comes rushing downstairs at the cry that they can hear from several buildings over. Sal, okay, this is good. We should talk later. Everyone.
Is scream recognizable?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, yeah, you realize, you look around, Cypher.
Okay. Yeah, Shalati is out of the door.
Shalati burst out through the door.
I'll be right behind. I'll probably out of the way I came in. Next level up.
Kabeth's woken up and she's like, "What's going on? What's going on?" Oh, God, and follows him out the door.
So, if you were in the midst of resting, you can grab your weapons, but you can't rest in your armor. So, if you get woken up sort of in the midst of that, let's try to watch yourself.
I can't rest in my armor, Chris?
No.
I stopped to put my armor on.
Alright,
Also, like, since when? I feel like Vanya and Rue were constantly sleeping in plate armor.
Yeah, it shouldn't.
That's how you get armor chafe.
Don't tell him.
I just want to be fair to Kabeth.
Just for clarity, Sal will put down the last unclean dish, annoyed that he doesn't get to wash it, and then run out towards the scream sound with everybody else.
Okay.
Peach follows the other screaming folks.
Esmond. Are you... Did you respond? Sorry.
No. He came downstairs, noticed Sal, said, "It's gonna. We'll talk about it later." Everyone started running out of the room immediately. So he's gonna find Doc and follow after everybody as well.
Yeah, she, like everyone else, had heard the scream, so she's probably just a little bit later. She's still got the book sort of tucked under her arm and is coming down the hallway trying to see what's happening. Her eyes are wide. She's both incredibly tired and fully awake. Where'd that come from? What's going on?
No idea. Let's go find out. And Esmond will lead the way, and hopefully she follows.
Oh, she does. She throws the book back in one of the rooms, preferably onto a table or a bed or something, but whatever flat surface is there, and sprints after it so there's nothing in her hands.
Are you around right now? Oh no, you are pressing green, but we cannot hear you. Check if you're muted.
Is it better?
Yes.
Rhea hops out of her room, one hand pulling a slipper on her foot, the remnant sparkles of her light armor fading away as she stumbles forward. What? And seeing her friends tumbling out the door, she just chases after them. No questions beyond, what? Whenever Kabeth finishes putting her armor, she catches up to them easily.
If you want to don your armor, that will take time. I mean, that's true for anybody. So if the
Chris, is this your rule or a game rule? Because I've also never heard this, so I'm confused because we've always slept in
It's a game rule.
Okay. That's new. All right. I mean, how long does it take to put armor on?
for plate armor, I think it's something like 5 or 10 minutes.
It's 10 minutes, I think, to done.
Yeah, I think medium armor is 5.
Light armor's like 1.
So you guys are like woken up in the middle of the night by the scream and the voices in the tavern. If you want to go rush out immediately, like you'll kind of whatever you can grab in your hands is what you'll be going with.
I'm gonna put my armor on. I'm not going out there without armor.
Okay.
Peach was up all night, so she is wearing her clothes from the night before. So she's not in jammies. She's probably still armored up and everything. She's good to go, I think.
I think in her haste to leave, Ava had the book under her arm, but her shield is probably still back in the room.
Okay.
I do believe Shalati had been testing out the new breastplate, so that's probably still on.
Okay, sounds good. Yeah, any characters who are like awake and on watch or something like that, it would be reasonable that you're like prepared for combat. But the people who are like sound asleep, you're probably unprepared. Okay, I guess I get to think how to. Yeah, so the shout came from the south part of the Travelers District. Hold on, give me 1 second. I'm going to kind of trying to think how to adapt to do this. Okay, so you guys go running out through the Travelers District on the southern side. Snow has been falling, covering some of the corpses. Still strewn about the square itself. Who is sort of lead? It was certainly Shalati, and who else is sort of at the front of this dash out the door toward the sound?
I'd like to think that I had seen the tailcoat of Ez and Ava before I like stumbled behind them.
Ava's behind Esmond, who just has a little bit of a lead on her. I don't know where he would be.
Esmond would probably be a short distance behind Shalati. She had a bit of a head start. He would have been gathering folks to head out, so middle of the group, probably.
Okay, sounds good. Shalati, roll a perception check for me. Esmond, roll a disadvantage perception check.
Ava. Oh, what?
Oh, natural
Hell
20.
yeah.
Woo.
Shalati, sharp-eyed looking around, you see some fresher prints in the snow, and you see the door to, looks like one of the shops is open, and there's a scrape in the fresh snow. Somebody opened that door recently.
Without hesitation, she adjusts her trajectory a little bit and darts through the door.
Following after Shalati, Esmond is going to call back to Ava. Doc, whatever we run into, I might have the opportunity to slow it down, so if you can, pull its attention somehow.
She's panting, but like has a sound kind of comes out in the sprint of acknowledgement, just a grunt. Are we just outside the? We're like right outside the barn, about to like go run through the door where we think the shout came from. Is that right?
Yeah, give me 1 sec. I'm just adjusting.
Sure.
I need Cheetos. I'll be back.
Charlotte, as you break towards the south, towards the door, you see a bit of movement. Something jiggling, squeezing its way out through one of the western windows of the building. And you immediately recognize a thing you've seen before. It's the Deathbrew Alchemist.
Do I,
Go ahead.
do I see anything inside of it?
You can see hints of things suspended within it, but nothing distinct.
I think she's looking for the source of the scream first, but she does call back over her shoulder. Old friends. And actually, I should probably add, going out the western window?
Yes.
Leaving out the western window, but they don't see. I don't see a cipher, and she's going to. Does she hear any sounds of scuffling or other sloopy, jiggly sounds elsewhere?
I don't know if you hear anything necessarily distinct, but there's definitely signs of movement on that side of the building.
Okay. I think she's just going to keep following any signs of tracks, and if that leads toward the window, then she'll keep heading that way.
Okay, the most distinct tracks definitely go to the front door.
Okay.
Yeah, let me have everybody roll initiative. I think that'll make sense.
Could someone give me just a quick point summary? I had to go and deal with an overturned blender of spinach smoothie.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're standing out in the snow. Everyone's running to the south. You see the jiggling Deathbrood Alchemist squeezing out through one of the windows of one of the southern buildings.
Okay, thank you.
So I have advantage. I'm going to roll that one after that natural one.
Sounds good.
Also, I noticed I'm 50 hit points down. Is that something from last session I just don't know about, or?
I copied these figures from the main page, so it just depends on if it's updated on your character sheet or not. But you have short rested.
Okay.
At the very least. Yeah, Salinger has short rested since your last combat.
I rolled that natural one twice.
Isn't it a 2?
Oh yeah, it is a 2. That's way better than a 1.
Oh no. Why did I delete that?
Peach is fast.
Apparently. I don't know what to do, though.
Kill it with fire.
Except not fire.
We're not in combat yet, are we?
We're about to be.
I mean, we're in initiative, but I'm not like... People aren't waiting on me to go right now.
No, we haven't started yet.
Okay, thank you.
Oh, yeah. Player.
DM, is it? Do we all see that it's the alchemist cube?
I think with Shalati pointing it out, yeah, because she spotted it.
Can I get off? Can I yell to the group before combat begins, or would that be considered a reaction at this point?
No, you guys don't have a state of surprise, so you'll have to wait for your turn.
Okay. Can I just burn a reaction immediately then?
Well, you don't get your reaction until your turn starts.
Got it. Sorry, misunderstood. Okay.
If I have you as a 26 on initiative, but I don't see a roll in the log. Oh, there it is. I see.
Yeah.
Sorry, it just didn't show up in the normal window that I'm used to seeing. All right. Ava, you're up first.
Okay. Ava, recognizing what the threat is, sort of like sucks in her breath, remembers at this moment that she completely forgot her shield, but is grateful that even as exhausted as they might be, there still hasn't been enough time to lapse, and there's a vague shield of energy that's still thinly veiled over her body. She continues to run forward, sort of chasing after Shalati and moving towards the front. And as she runs, she'll begin to cast a spell that she hasn't used before. Just trying to focus on pulling in all the energy that she can. The description's always terrible. So she casts a spell that she hasn't, and sort of begins to hum almost a little bit with energy as she's sort of running. It doesn't make her any faster, but something is obviously happening as she continues to run. Close to where she casts. It is. And she's going to move 30 feet. And as a bonus action, she's going to. Who's in the back there? It looks like, is Esmond way back there?
Yeah, that's me in the way back.
Okay. Bonus action, she just gives Esmond a little boost and pulls him 5 feet a little bit closer. You get like this little push of energy as an invisible force kind of pulls you a little bit, just to move you a little bit along. And that'll be the end of my turn. I'll move my character. Done.
Japan.
I'm literally like reading things at the moment. Sorry, just a moment. I'm trying to decide if logically Peach would have had a chance to learn how to use the gun, but I don't think that makes any sense.
It's been a while.
I know, right? She is a fast learner, but I don't think she's fast enough to learn how to use a gun without ever using a gun. I'm gonna hold my action while I figure out what to do.
Okay. Yeah, Peach, as you're moving south with the others, take a moment to
Yeah, thank
assess
you.
the situation, hesitate a bit. There is, as you're thinking, actually all of you hear almost like the sound of cracking glass, like a window pane that had been under pressure, and then a crack runs through it. There's a moment of sort of fuzziness and disorientation. Some of you have already experienced this. Something's changed. Not sure what.
Am I sound like getting second memories of Cypher?
Yeah.
More of a rhetorical question. I don't think that she's actually thinking about it at the moment.
You see the Deathbreed Alchemist in front of you, Shalati, and it begins sloshing and scurrying and jiggling as a cube does. Faces appearing on that side, spotting you as each of you as you're running south. You see it begin to move towards the west, away from you. Well, adjacent or perpendicular to you, anyway. Gets about there. And you can see it's making a clear movement toward the west, but it also begins to jiggle. And you see a greenish light beginning to flare inside of it. It begins to cast a spell. and you see a gas begin to congeal in the air and then squirming out from the snow beneath several of you. You hear the buzzing of wings, almost like maybe cicadas, something from the springtime. There shouldn't be any bugs when it's this cold. I'm going to try to draw a little circle. I think that's right.
Damn it.
All right.
But you have fate. Ooh, I got a +1 from my last game.
Oh god.
All right. So Shalati certainly. And yeah, Ava, you're at least halfway in there, so that'll include you as well. Peach, it's barely touching your square, so you don't need to worry about it. But I'll need Constitution saving throws from Ava and Shalati.
Alright. Creature takes 40-10, half as much. Creature must also.
And the DC is 15.
Okay. DC 15 and otherwise 40-10 piercing, is that right?
Yes.
Was a failure for me.
Failure for me too.
And it was, I think, not a great roll, so 16 piercing damage base. First turn.
That didn't show up first, I don't think.
It's on the thing right above it.
It's all mosquitoes
Oh.
sucking your blood.
I didn't declare it. Is it okay if I had raged before? Or is this something I have to do on my turn?
Yeah, that's probably something. Like, this is all happening pretty quick, so a rage with nothing to fight would have been wasted.
Okay.
Maintain concentration.
Nice. Oh, and my mistake. DC is 16, not 13. I don't think it matters in this case. Okay. Yeah, and the swarm of insects is sort of lightly obscuring the area, so you can kind of see through it, but some things might be disadvantaged. A red.
Oh, I'm so fast in the lineup. Okay. Briefly catching up with Sal and getting closer to her friends, she looks around her and casts Bless on those in range. So, Peach, Sal, and Ava. A comforting warm glow fills you, making you feel a little bit more confident.
Awesome.
Can you mechanically remind us what Bless does?
I'm trying to stick it in the thing. There we go.
Oh, there it is.
Sorry, there we go. The pop-up wasn't showing for me.
And my anxious choice to not move has paid off okay. I avoided the insect plague and got blessed.
Yippee.
All right.
I'm holding back my bonus action in case, but truly nothing else.
It's south of the tavern. You can hear the sounds of battle beginning. So you're rushing to put your armor on. Let me know if you want to do anything different.
Nope, she's putting on armor. Let me know when I'm joining.
Yeah. Esmond.
Seeing the creature, I can see it through these trees in this square of the well, right?
Yeah, it's slightly obscured, so range attack might have disadvantage.
No,
but-
that's fine. So long as I have visuals on it, that's fine. Okay, Esmond will run forward into the square. I know it's difficult terrain, so I'll account for that. But he'll run into the square, run forward, and just yell in Ava's direction, barely able to see her through the plague of insects. Doc, whenever you're ready, I'm holding my spell. Let's do this. And I'm going to hold my action.
All right, it's action now. Charlotte.
So, the tracks lead into, is it the one directly to the south or to the southeast?
The southeast.
Okay. I think she will take the opportunity to get really angry for a minute, and then is going to call back to the others. I don't see Cypher there. I'm going in where I think she went, and she's going to keep going toward that area. So that would be, yeah, I think she could just about make it to there, or with what she has.
Yeah,
It's
doors.
just slightly obscured, right? It's not difficult terrain in the thing.
Yeah, I think just obscured. Yeah, so you fight your way through it, bursting out of that cloud on the other side, making a sprint down for that door. The door is already open when you get there, and you can see there's disruptions in that main room, burns on some of the floor, some things are knocked over, and there's like a slimy trail, viscous, leading off towards that window. Yeah, that's immediately what you see.
Okay, so wait, even with a natural 20, I didn't see anything inside of the slime?
You do see things suspended in the slime, but just nothing distinct. It's like looking through a frosted glass.
Well, that's where all codes.
Sorry, I didn't get to the end of that. Was there anything else?
Oh, yeah, no, that's the end of my turn.
All right. Salinger.
All right, seeing that cloud swarm of insects, Sal's going to look left and look right real quick. Does this kind of wooded area look difficult to pass through, or can I just move through there normally?
Yeah, you can just run through it.
Sorry, you broke up for a second there.
Yeah, you can just go through it. The wall itself is pretty low. It's mostly just for decoration. It's not doesn't functionally keep anything out.
Gotcha. So he's just gonna dash his way to there.
Oh, I see what you're asking. Actually going through the tree would be difficult terrain because you'd be pushing through all the stuff.
Okay. So that means it would be half across there. Which means I can only get to there.
bonus actions?
Do a quick measurement and I'll decide. Yeah, he'll rage. So, his eyes turn kind of like a smoky gray, and some of the carefully pushed back hair, a couple of them pop up into curls. But that's it.
Charlotte is going to use her reaction to call out. I don't see her in there. Just a fight and that what looks like that thing escaping. And she's turning around, facing toward the slime again.
At the end of Salinger's turn, the Death Barockus is going to use a legendary action. You see a greenish light begin to bubble from within the creature, and then bolts two, actually I think maybe just one, bolt of greenish acidic energy flies off the creature and flies towards Salinger. And actually, because the area is lightly obscured, it's not be disadvantaged. Oof. But that probably will hit. Salinger, you're looking at 13 acid damage.
Okay.
The end of your next turn, you'll take 2d.
Do I get a save against any of this?
Do you get a save? No. It is strict. No, just attack roll.
Okay.
I didn't realize Acid Arrow did half as much on a miss. That's pretty decent.
Yeah, when I saw the save DC and then I read half as much glancing, I was like, do I get a save? But no, it's just really good. It splashes you.
Chris over there like, man, I gave my bad guy a pretty powerful move. Cool.
Good job, me.
Yeah.
Doc, you're up.
Okay. Ava, wait, does this happen at the beginning? Do I do 4d10 at the beginning of my turn as well?
I think it's at the end of your turn. Double check. Yeah, you have to either.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Swatting at the things, she sort of backs out, spitting, trying to get some of them out of her mouth. She backs up just a little bit. Seeing Sal outside the range, she's going to try to move as best she can. I'm going to try to measure around a curve, which isn't the easiest thing to do with the click thing. But she's moving towards Sal, trying to get him in range. And as she does, she's going to use her bonus action to try to heal herself. Let me know about this healing, Chris. The spell itself, I just rolled for it. This is with the typical bonus that we add to healing, but I didn't know if you want to use that on this spell or not.
Let's see.
It typically does 2d6. It requires concentration. You cast on your bonus action, and just roll 2d6.
You use your bonus action to activate it?
Yeah,
Or-
you hold concentration, use your bonus action to activate it.
Yeah, you can add the bonus to that.
Okay. Ava sort of sucks some of the energy into herself. There's a small a shifting of wind sort of blowing up, kicking up a little bit of snow and swooping off the grass just a little bit in her direction as she does so and continues to run through the snow. And then, as her action, she looks at the creature. She's going to... she pauses, I guess, where she is.
Oh,
Remembering... Go ahead.
I'm sorry, just as a note, just in case it affects something you can do here. I misspoke earlier, but it won't, no retcon on it. The area of the insect swarm is difficult terrain, so you do move slower through it.
Okay. All right, so I'll move to where it was. All right, so she spits. Oh fuck! All right. Yeah, she ends up wasting some of her action. Still, just not prepared for this fight. She's going to have to runs back into the swarm just to get close enough to try to cast against this creature. Chris, have it make a DC 18 intelligence saving throw, please.
18 intelligence.
And then roll 4d10, I think, again, because she ran back into the swarm in order to be close enough.
17.
Excellent. The brain that it doesn't quite have, it still just feels a little distracted, a little disoriented, whatever function it seems to have. And it will receive a d6 subtracted from its next saving throw
Okay.
or ability.
I'm sorry, to make sure your DC is 18?
Correct.
Okay, cool.
And you roll 4d10 because I ran out of the thing and then had to run back in order to be close enough to cast it. And then she's just going to continue along. What little movement she has, I think she can get to about here. Still not quite close enough, probably, to get Sal, but she's moving his direction and shouting his name, trying to be like. And that will be end of.
So at the end of Ava's turn, Death Brockmas uses a legendary action.
Can I actually use my held action to move? I had a held action from the previous round.
You certainly can. Sorry, and it sounded like Esmond, you're also saying something?
Yeah, I was also going to use my held action. The moment that Esmond sees light emanate from Ava's direction, he's going to release the spell that he's been focusing on. So he draws a circle that glows a silver gray in the air, and he sticks his hand into it, and he turns it.
Yeah, well, hold on. Because which one of you initially had the higher initiative?
I did.
Peach did.
Yeah, so Peach's held action will go first.
For my held action, I'm literally just dashing to be around closer to my buddy Sal. And then Esmond can continue with what he was describing.
Draws a circle in the air, sticks his hand into it, turning it counterclockwise as his eyes glow silver, casting slow on the creature.
All right.
Wisdom save, DC 17.
And then we're going to subtract that d6 from it. Oh, that's a natural 20. Nothing's going to save it. You see the creep.
Doesn't it have a disadvantage on its last thing? Because of brain freeze?
Not disadvantage, a d6, but you could spend. You should.
Yeah, I'm
spending
a spark point.
Spending a spark point.
I'd say. That's not an attack.
Yeah, not a natural 20. Yeah.
Chris, can you roll 4d10 for me? For the damage that Ava had to take because she was stupid and ran out and then never ran back in.
Yeah.
Isn't it the same damage every time?
No, it never rolls. Okay, so that's a fail on the saving throw.
Good use of a spark.
The creature is slowed.
Nice.
I'm gonna roll the. Sorry, it's 40-10, right, for that spell?
I think so, yes.
Yeah, 20 piercing damage from the insects.
She didn't. She was so stupid. Alright, thank you.
Just as I don't think we can fix it right now, but your microphone is getting really quiet in little bursts.
Okay, I'll fix it.
So the creature being slowed now. Some of the effects here. Its movement speed gets slower. It's easier to hit. It's not as good at its saving throws, and it can't take reactions. Well, it's not as good, or yeah, it has penalty on its dex saving throws. and can't take reactions.
This all an additional thing, and I don't know how this interacts with legendary actions, but if it rolls or if it casts spell, it's supposed to roll a d20, and depending on when it rolls, that spell takes effect immediately or at the beginning of its next turn.
Okay, yeah. If its legendary action is a spell, we'll still do that. Oh, I see. If the creature does. I think what I'll probably do there is it'll eat an extra legendary action. That'll make more sense.
Okay, great.
And if it doesn't have one left, then it will transfer over to the way it normally behaves. Okay. So those are interruptions, and it is trying to use its legendary. Yeah, similar to before, there's a bubbling of green light, and a bolt of energy is flying out. This one... actually, no, it's going to fire the Peach. Okay. So make sure that I'm doing this right. Yeah. So roll it d20.
Okay, because I don't think it hits. My armor class is 15. But I'll roll a d20.
Oh, well, I meant Esmond, but...
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Well...
Oh, excuse me. I'm sorry. I was not...
I thought you were talking to me because you were attacking Peach.
Uh,
14.
Okay, so it eats another legendary action. The bolt fires off. Peach, you see this thing blasting up towards you, but you're still wearing your armor because you were awake, or you were on watch in the tavern, and it hits the shoulder of your armor. Thanks off.
I still get half damage.
Yeah. So half of 11.
So I'll take 6. Okay, got it.
Okay, and so it's used all its legendary actions now because that burned an extra one. So now Peach, you're up.
So Peach, sort of seeing the thing slowed and staggered, but now wincing at the acid burning through, not the armor, but the layers of cloth around it, which was cute, damn it. So she kind of brushes her shoulder off and looks at the creature and says, "That's not funny. You don't mess with a girl's look." And she's going to cast Tasha's Hideous Laughter.
Yeah.
And that's a wisdom save. Hopefully the thing is not wise.
Wisdom save. Interesting. It doesn't say, but this seems very much like a charming kind of effect to me. It is an enchantment school of magic.
I think spells only generally do what they say, though. It doesn't have the
Yeah.
clause that if they're immune to charm, then it doesn't work on them.
Agree. I also want it to work. But if we're making
thought it was
Kabesh
just
put on her
psychic
armor, I
damage.
think it should work. I mean, it is, yeah, it's psychic damage.
Yeah, well, we'll do it for now. I'm gonna think about things like that. So it's currently looking at a 19 for the saving throw. You could make a re-roll.
Oh, I wanted to reroll. Yeah, Pete just got to burn a spice point and say, no, you don't understand. You think it's funny. You're wrong, but you think it's real funny. I'm just going to make it reroll.
That's going to be a 10. That's potentially a failure. Okay, so let's see what happens here.
I really want to hear the description of all the mouths laughing and how a cube falls prone.
Yeah. Well, I think that's exactly what happens. You see, as your magic takes effect, all of the faces on this cube, they begin to distort and curve into these unwilling, trauma-filled smiles, and they begin to laugh and gibber silently. The cube begins to jiggle, and it kind of falls over kind of onto one side. The faces don't reorient, so they're all sideways. So we're going to have it work there. But I will say, just as a warning for the future, because you cast that spell this turn, in the future, things like this will be charming effects, because I don't see how they're not, right? So consider that in the future.
You don't think I'm charming enough to charm this big blob?
Well, this time you were, but maybe not next time. And it does not have another legendary action.
I'm so pleased with the description. I really just, as soon as Ez slowed it, I was like, I want to make it fall over so badly.
It worked. Interesting. Okay. Yeah, so the creature doesn't do anything but kind of jiggle and laugh for the duration of its turn. And at the end, it is... Can an incapacitated creature concentrate on spells? That's an important
Nope.
question. Yeah, so the insect swarm dissipates as all the insects just flying off in the right direction. And the creature's make its saving throw. Well, I'll tell you what's going to happen. I feel like that was pretty good value. It's going to pass its saving throw to get out of this. Yeah, so on it spends its turn, doesn't take an action on this turn. Spell dissipates, and it's going to jiggle and kind of reorient itself at the end of its turn. So it doesn't do it. Araya, your turn.
We also
real
got rid of
fast.
the big thing, right? The big
Oh yeah,
insect
the
swarm.
insect swarm. Yeah, that's A
Mhm.
plus.
Good
Great.
value.
Yeah.
Real fast. It does have the opportunity to make a wisdom save against slow. Wisdom save DC 17.
Per turn.
No, the creature's turn, or unless you did a thing different this time, Chris. But it's supposed to have to be able to try and save against slow at the end of each of its turns.
Okay. Well, at the end of each turn, it's looking at a 19. Oh, wait. Is it a wisdom saving throw?
Yes.
Okay. It's looking at a 19.
At the end of its turn. Yeah.
I'll use a spark point.
Spark point. Make it re-roll. No, not advantage. It'll just be the first one, which is the high one anyway. So that is a
fails,
failure.
so it's still slowed.
Still slowed. Okay. So that concludes the creature's turn. We're going to actually take a 5-minute break here. Okay, so we'll take a 5-minute break. Just get some snacks in. All right. What even happened last? When was the last thing that happened? Creature took its turn. Didn't do anything because it had been laughtered.
Yeah.
Araya. It's your turn. You see the creature. Yeah, it's been its turn, sort of righting itself. It's still moving slowly. There's like a grayish after image on it. It's like it's moving through molasses, but it still seems to be trying to get to the west.
Okay, I'm gonna run forward first and see what that gets me in range of. And then she's going to cast her guiding bolt at it. Checking one roll real fast. But upcasting.
Good. 22 definitely hits the creature. Is this the first time you guys have dealt damage to it? I think so.
This
Yeah, I think so.
today.
Yeah, it's blasted.
First damage of the day.
Blasted
We did
with
things
radiant
to
light.
it, though.
I wake up
That's true.
angry.
That's true. Yeah, and you see light, golden light refracted through its body, and you see the outline of there's some objects suspended inside.
And the next attack made against it gets to have advantage.
It glows golden. Anything else on your turn?
No, I'm where I want to be.
Gabeth, pulling armor on. You feel confident at this pace as you hear you see the battle out through the window. You probably won't have the armor on for this battle, but yeah, whatever dangers might come next, be prepared.
I've tossed my armor into the main room since I was in a side bedroom where I realistically would not see or hear anything. Can I just be in the main room of this tavern? It's still putting stuff on.
Sure.
It doesn't make sense for her to not at least be within earshot of her friends.
Totally fine. Okay, so you're in the main room.
Yeah, I moved myself.
All right. Esmond.
Esmond is going to run as much of his full movement as he can. And as he runs, he's going to launch a grappling hook out of his shield that winds back as his shield begins to spin viciously, picking up speed. He hits the center piece of the shield, launching the rock at the creature, casting Catapult.
Ooh. Do I need to make a save?
Yes, DC 17 Dex save. You have a -2 to Dex saves due to slow.
Oh, that's only a 14.
So that will be 20 total bludgeoning damage.
Yeah, the stones tear through the gelatinous body, and you see it jiggling and its pieces reforming back together.
And Esmond will end his turn yelling to everybody, remember, no elements, no slashing. Smash it and force it.
And show it the maiden's light.
Sure, that too. And that's my turn.
Shalati.
Shalati is going to move and then bonus action dash to get up close to it. And as she does, she spins the glaive around and brings it down hard in an overhead swing with the blunt side of the glaive. Do I still have? Oh yeah, I have advantage on this, right? Because of the guiding bolt.
Yeah, because that was not an attack roll from us.
Cool.
28 will hit.
So that is 9 bludgeoning, 5 necrotic, 11 bludgeoning, 5 necrotic, so 16 if it's not resistant to necrotic.
It is
And that will be it for me.
not resistant to necrotic damage.
It is not resistant?
It is the regular not resistant to necrotic.
Okay. Okay, and then that would be a 16 total.
Yeah, it smashes in the creature. It jiggles. You see it. It almost looks like it's going to fall over, but it's a cube.
Can I see anything more when I'm up close next to it, inside of it, or is this still murky?
It is still murky, but you can definitely see there are objects inside.
Nothing like humanoid shaped?
You can't. There's some things that are. There is something large enough that it could be a person, but it's quite hazy.
Okay.
Salinger, your turn.
Okay. Fortunately, it's still too far away for me to run up and hit it. So Sal will charge up to here. use his regular action. Flicks his hands through his hair, briefly kind of shimmers through a few different colors, and then Poppy appears beside him, colors rippling through her feathers. Though I'm not sure where her... there she is. There she comes. That's a girl. And then... bonus action... he'll command her, but she's gonna move, not attack, because I don't want her to bite that. And slashing with her claws is bad news, so she's gonna slide up here next to Shalati. That's all I can do.
It's Salinger's turn. Use a legendary action. There is. To click that more times. A jiggle, and then dip, dip, dip. Bolts of energy come flying out from the alchemist.
Is it still slowed?
Yes, it is still slowed. Roll that d20. Ooh, you see them moving slowly through the air. It eats legendary action, and then they speed up. And they're going to curve through the air at Shalati, I think. Come down multiple directions.
Okay.
So you're looking at 9. Is it 9? Yeah. 9 force damage. Ava, your turn.
All right. Ava continues sort of running forward, trying to get as many of her friends inside her little circle as she can. Trying to reach out to as many of them. As she's sprinting, she draws in some of the energy and again pushes it into herself, feeling foolish for having to waste time taking care of herself in a moment like this, because she wasn't thinking, and so uses her bonus action, heals herself for 18 of the points. She'll continue to move forward, and she's just gonna hold her action for right now, I think.
Neva's turn. Deathborough Alchemist is an attempt a legendary action. There's a building of green energy. Bolt fires upward. Roll a d20. I suppose. Yeah, that bolt curves up through the air, curving towards Ava and Araya, then passes right over them. Goes straight for... Is my nephew's in range? 90 feet? Yeah, I think that's... And so Esmond, please make... No, it's an attack roll. Attack roll.
Do I have a bonus to my AC due to being covered by trees and stuff?
Yeah, you get +2 AC for being partially obscured in those bushes. Will a 15 hit you?
I hide behind a tree.
Yeah, you see acid hits, and the wood explodes, some of it splashes onto you, and you take half of that amount. So you take acid damage.
Okay, I'm gonna make a con saves against that. At advantage.
Fine.
Can you remind Kate, the player, what the purple circle represents?
That's an aura that's surrounding Doc. Actually, Doc, what's the radius on that?
30 feet. Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, that's a big circle.
Cool.
So that one actually originates from your character, and you can move with it. It'll move with you.
Oh, that's awesome. Hold on. Ha! I think I can get Peach.
Ooh, I'm glad I asked about
Yeah.
that circle.
Yeah, I was trying to move to as many people as possible, so hopefully that's not too much of a retcon.
That's good.
I think you can set an aura on your icon, can't you? So that it moves automatically with you.
That's what I just enabled.
Oh, okay. I just don't know how to do that, but I'll learn so that I can do it in the future.
Whoever's doing random strokes around Ava is very funny.
Sorry, I'm such a dweeb.
It's like somebody's just drawing on the map.
Oh my
DM,
gosh, yes.
DM, I'm going to regret asking this, but con saves to maintain spells, it's half the damage is the DC or 10 at minimum.
Whichever is higher, yeah.
Slow drops.
You're gonna drop it. You're not gonna spark.
You want to use a spark point?
Spark.
You want to use a spark? Don't you have an insp?
Inspo.
That's slow. It's really
Fucking-
useful.
I'm
not gonna give you shit. Sorry.
No. I'm having. This is not a good session for Kevin. Not for Esmond, for Kevin. I'm going to use my last spark point. I'm going to try and reroll this con save.
Okay.
Oh.
To also be fair, Array's reactions used. Ooh, that's better.
Slow stays up.
Alright, peach pie.
I swear I had an idea. Sorry, give me just a moment. Okay, Peach is going to move. Just slightly kind of northeast. And as she does, she's gonna holler to Ez and say, like, she's gonna say as she's running, "Hi, let me know if you need help with anything." And she's going to use her bonus action to help Esmond with his next thing. He'll get advantage on whatever he does next. So she just moves, holds her action, but uses her bonus action to use the help, which she can use as Master of Tactics.
Sorry, is it too late for me to note that it would have had disadvantage on any attack rolls?
Oh, disadvantage from what?
From my rage.
Oh, I didn't realize you had targeted it with that.
It's just whatever I hit first on my turn.
Gotcha. Well,
It's totally fine. I missed it too, so.
Yeah, it doesn't matter because it missed anyway. Okay. Like it missed the attack on Esmond.
Oh, right. Oh.
Mark it with that flag. And Peach, you're deciding what to do, right?
I held my action, but I used the help action as a bonus action because of Master of Tactics to assist Esmond on his next turn.
Awesome. Okay. Sounds good. And it used its it lost one of its legendary actions, so it does not have another one for your turn. It is the turn of the Death Brute Alchemist. And the Death Brute Alchemist it's going to attempt to cast a spell. Please roll a d20, Esmond. It's a 4. Is that going to stand?
I can't do anything.
Can I use a fate point?
Peach said she'd help you. You should be able to reroll that, in my opinion.
Well, that's not an attack or the appropriate things. You could use your fate point to help him reroll that, but only one person can apply such an effect.
Oh, absolutely. You can have my merit badge. Enjoy us.
Inspiration? Okay. Now you do have to take the result of an inspiration. Worse, better, or worse.
Peach kind of makes eye contact with Ez across the forest. Only if you want to, Ez. Here's another shot.
Yeah, I'll take it. It's just an inspiration won't matter here. It's just whether it's an 11 or more. All right, let's go. I didn't roll though. Okay, whatever. I guess I did. It's fine. Whatever. Something happened with the lap.
All right, the creature begins to jiggle, and then a pulse of energy comes out from it.
My goodness.
Right. Shimmering barrier spreads out from the creature. Anything that's not an undead or a construct is shoved away.
Ooh.
Interesting. So, I'm trying to think how to interpret the bottom part of that.
So if you voluntarily move to where something is that the idea?
Well, I'm trying to figure out if the interpretation of that is that it would shove them backward, but if that can't happen, then the spell ends. Or if that simply stops the creature from moving so that someone would overlap with the barrier.
I think only if the alchemist chooses to then close in to try to hum nom nom something, that's when it has to let go of.
Well, what I'm saying is, like, let's say it tried to move toward Salinger. Would it push Salinger back because there's space to move him back? Or would the spell end? Because I'm comparing that to, like, if Salinger were up against a wall and it were impossible for him to move backwards.
Well, but so the other people cannot enter into the shell. We can't voluntarily get in it. It's pushing us away. But should this choose to, it doesn't push him back. It's if you move so that.
Yeah, I could see how to interpret it either way, but I think that's fine.
Does the barrier exist only with the barrier doesn't move with the creature, so if the creature exceeds the
No, it moves with it. It says it remains centered on you. But I'm looking at the distinction. So two different
And it
scenarios.
moves with you.
These are the two different scenarios that I'm considering. One of them is that if there's space for a creature to be moved, it just gets shoved away, like when you cast the spell. The other one is that when you simply move, you move so that it overlaps with them, that the spell ends. I think... It's tricky.
It's a 5th level spell, so
Yeah.
That's true, yeah.
Yeah, it makes more sense that only if you like corner someone so they cannot physically go through.
yeah, I think so too.
Especially for
So the thing
level
is
of it.
forced to pass.
Yeah.
That makes it the forced thing.
Yeah, it's sort of the interpretation of what the meaning of that is.
Pops the bubble.
Yeah, I think it's it's really easy to destroy this spell with like
Force movement stuff.
anything, yeah. If you do that, so.
Or just like so going in a circle around it so they can't move without ending it.
Right. Okay, so it's gonna.
As it tries to pass by Salinger,
Mhm.
Ava's going to use her held action as the bubble gets very close to Salinger. She begins weaving some magic.
Mm-hmm.
And she casts Dispel Magic at 3rd level around the creature.
Right.
I have to roll a DC 15 saving throw, I think. Do I just roll Wisdom? Is that how I... let me see. Yeah, DC...
Ability check, not saving throw, I think.
Oh, ability check,
Yeah,
right.
Spellcasting ability. 10 plus the spell's level, yeah. So you're... Yeah, you need to make a DC 15 for Dispel Magic. A natural 20
Nice.
will definitely do it.
Oh, and... well, I guess ability check does... And just in case, because Jess was so nice. There we go. If less works...
Add even more on top?
Uh-huh.
Alright, so Salinger does not get shoved back. I think that's Salinger's original position, I think.
Yeah, basically, well, yeah. So I thought that... I thought he was close enough that Salinger, it might pass within striking distance. If that's the case, that's what I was trying to time it as, that he'd be next to Salinger. And Salinger might have an opportunity attack. He may not be that close. That's what I was trying to do if possible.
Yeah.
If not, it's fine.
He was never quite that close, but the Dispel Magic does work, so...
It's also still slowed, right? So it has half movement.
Oh, yeah. Hell yeah. All right.
Yeah, so it makes it to about there. Okay, and so that's going to end the creature's turn. Yeah, and you can see it in slow motion, like molasses trying to move towards the west, but inhibited.
It now gets to make a save.
A saving throw. It was a wisdom, right?
Yes, Wisdom DC 17.
Currently gonna succeed.
I can't.
I think
Can
it
I-
succeeds
can I-
no matter
can I-
what.
Can I fate to make it not succeed? Or
No, I think that you might be able to do that, but it's got a 20 and an 18, and it only needs a 17. So I think either of the dice that you choose, it still passes, right, Chris?
Well, he has to roll one more time.
Right, but you're only rerolling one die, so you would reroll the 20, it would still have the 18.
Thanks, got it. Got it.
All right. Yeah, so you see the molasses effect on the creature. It seems to fade away and starts moving at its full speed again. Your turn.
Well, this isn't my favorite thing. She is going to cast silence around the creature just for a little while.
Ooh, all right.
But this does remove bless from anybody that had it, and I am sorry for that. And I'm going to put it just centered on the creature. It's a 20-foot radius. I have a bean crawling on my arm. It's a friend.
Oh.
Thank you for drawing my circle for me.
Mine.
I'm gonna back away.
Anything else on your turn?
Just running away, that's all. No big deal.
No. Okay, Matthew. Pull
Okay.
armor on.
So we're gonna say the reason that Skabath was sleeping without armor, because she would not take her armor off in such a dangerous area, is because she had taken off her normal armor to give to Peach, and she was gonna put new armor on, but she dozed off in the middle before she did that. So seeing this creature through the door, moving faster, she's like, shit. And she's got like one bracer on and one leg thing. So far, I would assume she has something on by now, right? It's been a few rounds.
Oh, yeah, sure.
I'm going to run out the door, leaving behind whatever else is left. And I can use my regular movement, and I'll use my bonus action for additional movement, and that'll get me right to here. I don't really have any distance stuff, so I'm going to hold my action, and I still have my reaction to trigger that.
That sounds good. Esmond, it's your turn.
I still can't believe it's saved on slow. The worst luck this session. Feeling the spell fade off the creature, Esmond's going to perform the same action. Seeing how effective it was before, throw grappling hook out from a shield, let it spin to a high velocity, and then launch a large rock at it, casting catapult at second level again.
Right. Make a saving throw if I recall.
DC 17 Dex.
Currently an 8 and a 22.
Yep, it misses.
Rock just kind of hits into the gelatinous body of the creature and just gets stuck.
That's my turn.
Shalati.
Okay. Shalati runs after. What is the yellow aura around it?
That's like a shimmering in the air. You saw Rhea cast a spell right before that appeared.
Okay. She runs up around it to over here. Realizes what it is as she steps through this area, and all of a sudden, all challenges. And then, I think, acting on. So what am I HP with? Whoops. Anyway, acting on maybe instinct, maybe not. She plunges the halberd into the ground next to her, and trusting to the magical leather of her gloves, she plunges her arms into it and is going to try and grab toward that vaguely person-shaped thing. And her lips look like they're moving, but given the silence, nobody can actually hear all the cursing.
All right, yeah. You reach your hand in there. There's immediately a burning sensation. So you're looking at 26 points of acid damage, but you can make DC 16 athletics check in order to grab onto that thing successfully. Pull it through you.
Okay.
All right. Now you reach in, you grab what feels like a sleeve, pulling it out. There's a wet, sucking sound, and then you pull from the creature what seems to be a suit of tarnished chainmail armor.
Isn't it 2d10 acid damage? Not. Oh, is that the plus 10 that we would never manage to get off?
Oh, that's the thing that had the fire damage in it, right? Yeah.
Or, wait, no, that looks right, but it's just... I think it's the difference between being engulfed in it and reaching in to grab it. So.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, 16 acid damage, not... yeah, just pull 10 off of whatever that first roll was.
So she's not bloody, and otherwise she would have been.
Nice.
And she looks at it with disgust, throws it down, looks back at the thing. There are no more big shapes inside of it?
Yeah, looking in there, there's nothing big enough to be a person, but when you look at your hand covered in the acidic, kind of wet residue, you see partially dissolved tuft of fur sticking to your wrist.
Shalatia's eyes grow wide, and then her teeth grit. And her nostrils flare before she grabs the... she reaches out, lashes out, grabs the halberd again, and lifts it up. But she doesn't actually have any more actions this turn, so I think that will be it for her.
Quick question before I do stuff. You were toying with the idea of rage not dropping, but still currently in this fight, rage drops if you didn't take damage because I've been a full round without it.
No, I think it's fine. If you're participating in a combat, I don't see why the rage would drop.
Okay, cool. I mean, I had options either way. I just wanted to make sure I was being consistent with what you're doing. Okay, so Sal will run at this thing, finally taking a swing, flipping the spear and using it like a staff. Is the advantage from Araya's ability still active?
No.
I'm sorry, I dropped it for the silence.
It just means I'm going to attack recklessly because it's not hitting me. That's what I was asking.
It is no longer glowing.
Gotcha. Okay. So I will hit it with advantage, but it has advantage against me.
Just a touch.
Alright, so 23, I'm assuming, hits and does 15 total damage.
Sounds good. Yeah, hitting it with the blunt portion.
Yeah. And remembering what Esmond said earlier, he chooses not to have Poppy add elemental damage to it. And I'll go ahead and do my second attack. (24 for 14).
My hits. Salinger, as you bloody the death brute alchemist, tell me a story.
And Sal charges in, frustrated that it took him this long to get there, as this thing keeps slinging acid and magic and swarms of insects at his friends, and just splatters chunks of it kind of off the corners and turns this cube into more of a rhombus as he takes 2 swings on the edges. Bonus action. This might be a stupid idea. Poppy's going to bite. I know it's resistant to piercing, but hopefully it doesn't have detrimental effects to Poppy. Would I know? Can I do like an intelligence check or something? Am I going to hurt her?
I think it's pretty, based on what you've seen, a physical unarmed attack against a creature, it'll deal acid damage to you.
Okay, yeah, I'm not doing that to her.
I think you're probably close enough. So Charlotte actually was bloodied because I forgot to take into account the extra HP she has now from the level up. You can see these burn marks all up her arm. Her skin bubbling.
Gotcha. Yeah. Okay. So he like has that instinct, sees Shalati's been burned by touching this thing, and instead has Poppy move back into position to protect the other party members.
Right. The end of Salinger's turn. The creature begins to jiggle. It is going to begin to pulse with a blue energy that builds and then blasts upward. Northward, I should say. And a bolt of lightning arcs through Salinger, Poppy, and Ava.
No, that's not good.
Lightning bolt occurs.
It doesn't need any vocal components for this?
Oh.
No, it's
my
silenced. No,
Yes!
no lightning bolt happens. It just, there's a little, and then it just goes out. Nothing happens.
Way to go, Rhea.
I'm not wasting my reaction. I have feels.
And the creature kind of jiggles and then starts to move.
As it moves, Charlotte lashes out with the glaive.
You also can take attack opportunity if you have one.
Oh man, yeah.
Can I can't recklessly do this, right? I believe it has to be on my turn.
I do think, yeah, it has. I think it's when you take the attack action.
When you make your first attack on your turn, yeah, so. Cool. So that is 20 points of damage, and it is stopped unless it has something that prevents that. I guess plus bloodied as well.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, no, you can. Yes, you can stop its movement. What does that look like?
Oh, sorry.
As it starts to jiggle and move away, she lashes out at it with a glaive, and quick as lightning that it couldn't cast. So some of the spectral serpents around her wrap around it, impeding its motion just enough to keep it from moving any further before they dissipate briefly.
Okay, sound good. But Salinger, unfortunate retcon, it never got a chance to leave your threat range, so you don't get yours, unfortunately.
Yeah, 15 probably missed anyway.
Okay, yeah, so the creature desperately trying to escape the silence, but these ethereal serpentine tendrils keeping it in place. You can see it jiggling, the different faces beginning to change into expressions of panic. Why do I feel like I did that? That's fine. I did wrong.
Shalati, did you have bloody damage to that?
I mentioned bloodied, but I didn't include it in the total count.
Oh yeah, what's your guys' character level?
9.
Okay, so +4. So that's 24.
Right, yeah, you see sections of the creature's body being sliced off, dissolving on the ground. The air twisting a bit as the different vapors rise up around it. You can tell the Deathbreed Alchemist is in bad shape. So I accidentally took its turn on what should have been a legendary action, so we're going to keep all of that so it doesn't have to change. It'll just take a legendary action on what would have been its turn.
Okay.
All right. Eve, your turn.
Ava rushes forward, sort of skirts around Poppy, who's like sprinting in front of her. Until she's just outside, I guess, and can sort of through the ground, she can reaching out and kind of feels the area. She can see Shalati, but she can also just feel part of the energy of her as she gets close enough. She's going to cast to heal Shalati for 22 points. And then
Nice. Thank you.
welcome. And then Ava will hold her action standing outside this shimmering circle that Araya has created. And that's the end of her turn.
Did I somehow mess up the... No, I'm not. Do with this. Yeah, the creature's turn, it jiggles about. But it doesn't do anything at all. Peach Pine, your turn.
Peach is going to just move a little bit closer to Kabeth, but from here she is going to cast Sleep. She's looking at the thing and it's slow and it's fallen over, and she thinks maybe, I don't know, maybe this will put you down and out, and we can see what all you've got inside you. So she will attempt to sleep on the creature.
All right, click on sleep for me, please.
I'm going to upcast it as well.
It's a terrible roll.
I know. Could I maybe use a little bit of spice to re-roll that there? Sorry. I thought that first number was for the entire thing. No, that's... No, actually, I'm good. Yeah, upcast. I'm fine.
No. Okay,
I
so
do
you're
nothing.
looking at 32 points potential sleep damage. Can you ping where you're centering that?
Yes. Literally right on the creature, but I will ping it. How does one ping?
Just hold left click. That's it. Well, if you're... I think what you discover is that there are no creatures in that area that have less than 32 hit points remaining.
Okay. Thank you. In that case, Peach will use her remaining movement to move away. But kind of anticipating the creature moving forward, she'll move slightly to the west. And that'll end my turn.
Alright. The end of Peach's turn, the creature jiggles and wiggles. And doesn't do anything. On its turn, jiggles and wiggles. Doesn't do anything. Alright, your turn.
Gotta keep concentration. Hold on. I didn't think I was gonna be so fast. Yeah. Okay. She is going to stay where she is, but cast Guiding Bolt at this creature. Cast a teensy bit. I was kind of fate for that. Yeah. Every little bit counts. I'm gonna see if I can re-roll that, and I'll take whatever comes next.
Are you using your inspiration or your fate?
I'm gonna use a fate point.
Okay, so you'll get to take whichever one you choose.
Never mind. That's terrible. Oh, ooh! I do have, if a thing doesn't work, under the Maiden's Eye, a divine power guards my destiny. If I fail a attack roll, I can roll 2d4 to add to the total. So I'm gonna take that 12. I'm gonna roll 2d4. I'm gonna hope for the best. $15 is not great. This is as good as I could do.
And you've already done a reroll, so I don't. Is there anything else you can do to augment? Are you blessed?
No, all the
drop.
bless fell.
I see. Well,
If you nope, that's an ability check. Or a caster, no. Oh wait, but sorcery allowed me to do a thing. Let me quickly read the sword. I'm trying everything I can. Ability check. Yep. That's my limit.
Alright, yeah, it's the guiding bolt goes flying in. One of the faces on the side of this cube opens up. It's it.
Terrifying.
Anything else in your turn?
Nope, I just can't. Oh, I thought I had one more thing. Nope, I am satisfied.
Alright. Kibeth.
Okay, I'm going to move in. And suddenly things get quiet. Kibeth looks a little confused, but raises her hammer, and I'm going to take... Oh, sorry, before I moved into the circle, I already forgot that I was going to become giant. I don't think being in the circle affects being able to do that, because it's not a spell. So I become big. Make me big.
Giant.
And then Giant Kibeth is going to take a swing with my two-handed warhammer. Does 25 hit?
25 definitely hits.
So that's 14 base plus 4 more for bloody, so that's 18 on the first hit. And you see her mouth. If you got that, you got that. And she'll take another swing. And that's a 23.
3 hits.
And that's 13 more damage. And because I'm mobile and I still have movement, I'm gonna step back out of the area of silence and say, "Sorry I'm late, you guys!" And then you see she has one bracer on and like one of her, what's the thing around your legs called? Greaves? One greave is like buckled on but like tied incorrectly because she was clearly in a hurry. And like her hair is disheveled, like it's normally like braided, but her braids are kind of messy from bedhead. And she's like, "I hate these things." And then that'll be my turn.
Alright. Esmond.
Oh, man. There's not much that Esmond can do. He's getting pretty burned out. I'm gonna last second level spell slot. Esmond's going to take his wand and draw a circle, a white glowing circle in the air that forms a halo over him that shrinks and forms into 4 motes of pure energy that shoot and shoot towards the creature. Magic missile at second level, so that'll be 4 darts. Three, 6, 9, 11 plus bloody will be 15 total force damage. And that's Esmond's turn.
Esmond Clawcry. Tell me a story.
Yeah.
Oh no, Esmond's not supposed to get the final strike. No way.
We will sing songs of your heroism as
Oh man, maybe I am the tank after all. Yeah, Esmond will peek around the tree and start stepping towards the undead blob, drawing the circle in the air. And as the motes shoot forward, they one immediately impacts and implodes, causing an opening in the creature, and the 3 more darts quickly follow behind it, creating implosion after implosion until the 4th dart reaches the pure center of it, where it oh boy, coalesces and ruptures, exploding the glob from the inside out.
Viscous fluid splatters all over Salinger and Shalati. Some of it gets on Ava and Cabell.
Every
Gross.
Rude.
single time.
I just took a bath.
But
So Shalati immediately, seeing it dissolve, dashes away.
Esmond just
No.
whispers to himself, "Oh, I'm so sorry."
That's right. Sal does hate it when that happens. Sal, you're
Wait.
here.
As Shalati is running away, at 19 more, she runs a few steps after her, realizes she's probably not going to be able to keep up, but you get 19 more points of healing.
Thank you.
I love the image of Ava shooting a healing spell after her friend. Like, hang on, wait.
The retreating back.
Mm-hmm.
She suddenly starts feeling better and runs even faster.
As the creature dissolves, you can see that some of the puddles try to form faces that are screaming, and then but they're unable to hold cohesion, and it all melts in the snow as Shalati goes running off toward the east and the south. You can see that in the wake of the creature's collapse, there are some objects left behind, things that were suspended in it, hadn't been completely dissolved by the acid, that are now lying there in the snow.
Sal, you have a face on your
Yeah, I'm sure. Says as he kind of wipes that away and inspects the objects and sees the one closest to the puddle at this point.
Yeah, you see, is that a ring? And that looks like, it's probably a necklace. It's a bracelet. You see something else. It's a bit of bone. And that part there, that's like tinged with blood. And then as you look down, there's a scrap of woven fabric. You've seen that pattern before. That's the pattern of weave that Seifert's family makes.
Sal's eyes get really wide and he looks in the direction that Shalati's running, seeing only one bone, shakes off the moment of panic and starts running after her. Doesn't even say a word.
Runs off towards the east after Shalati.
Peach sees Shalati run off and then Salinger run off, and as she runs off too, she whips past Ava and goes, "Why are they all? Who's running? What are we even looking for?" But she continues off after Sal and Shalati.
Shalati's already there in the room. Salinger, Peach catch up. Shalati, as you're looking through the space, what's going through your mind?
She is frantically searching for any signs of another one, any trails leading out. I kind of assumed that there would be a door between these two rooms, but clearly that was a foolish assumption. Basically, she's looking for any signs that maybe the other one was here, not just the one that had exited.
Yeah, I think you look around, you see the trail of residue leading towards the window. You can see some more dried flakes in the doorway. That should be on this outside of the room, but isn't there? You see some scratches and crushed wood on the doorframe itself. Roll survival tracking. Yeah, you see scratch marks on the doorframe. Someone was trying to hold on to it. Look at the tracks on the floor, the tracked snow, the scuffs on the ground. Seifert came in through that door. She did not leave.
She's not quite hyperventilating, but her breathing is starting to get there, and she tears out of the room and is circling around the place, trying to track back where the alchemists had come from.
As with that 2070, as you look at the trail of residue on the ground, you don't see two trails. You fought two of these that had split in the basement, but you only see one larger trail.
Circling back around and finding no other footprints or other trails, she comes up to where the others are, and her face just closed off. Pulls out the little bundle of sludgy, acid burned bunny fur that she was gripping in her other hand.
So Casman wants to say something.
I was gonna say, while they had run off and were inspecting the building, Esmond would have gone to the goo pile and inspected the items that were there, including the bundle of cloth. Are these the jewelry and pieces, are those clearly Cypher's items?
No, not specifically. These are some things that somehow seem to have survived the acidic nature of this creature. I think just any basic arcanic knowledge would lead you to believe these items are probably magical in nature.
All right, collect them as well as the pattern patch. And this creature was heading in a western direction. It wasn't immediately combating us. It seemed like it was trying to flee for most of, if not the entire battle. Yeah.
It's a pretty reasonable assumption.
Esmond is going to tap Kibeth on the Kibeth is giant. Tap Kibeth on her hip, and hey, uh, you come with me. I want to check to see what exactly is in this direction, and I want to head in that western direction to see if there's any sign of anything that would be drawing it, or any indication of like any additional tracks in that way.
I'll go with him. I walk by his side, and so I can jump ahead just in case.
There's
Okay.
also that suit of plate armor that Shalati pulled out, isn't there?
Chain armor, but yeah, it's lying on the ground.
Does it also look magical, or does it just look like somehow a lucky survivor?
More than likely magical, based on the fact that it's not dissolved.
He was approaching like the group and sees Shalati running around. The others, what's going on? What are?
Shalati closes her eyes and takes in a deep breath. Suddenly remembers that there had been that strange rippling feeling. Tries to remember if it matched that feeling when suddenly, when Salander disappeared and everyone started getting other memories of him.
Yeah, it feels just like that. And Salinger, as you see the tuft of fur in Shalati's hands, and you, you're holding the weave in your own patterned weave in your own hand. You realize, you probably conclude what might have happened here, and you realize, something like this hasn't happened since Casey and Shalati's brother Yev fell from the bridge into the depths those months ago.
Is Peach here yet? She was right behind Salinger.
Yeah, you guys are all there.
Yeah, as he's thinking that, he just kind of whispers once, Cypher, shakes his head, not knowing what to do.
Out of character, Chris, are we having a hard time remembering Seifert or Casey?
Yeah, no.
Or Yev.
Or
Or Yev.
Yev.
No, Casey.
Nope, we don't know yet.
Casey was just there. He said something about a firework. But wait.
Shalani, what else? What else going on? You all look like you've seen ghosts.
Probably simultaneously, we both hold up the objects in our hands.
I'm sorry, I'm still not. Do we know who Seifert is, or is it a? I don't know.
You know
It's
who Cypher is.
unfolding. Shush.
Okay. Oh my gosh. Where?
She went into that building, and then, as far as I can tell, she did not come out again. Not on her own 2 feet, anyway.
You mean that thing has her?
I think it had her. And she looks over at like the dissolved puddle of goo.
Okay. I guess. Go ahead.
And she closes her eyes and tries to remember, collect all of her memories of Seifrid.
focus in and think. I mean, yeah, you remember Seifrid. There's also that strange feeling kind of hazed over your thoughts, just like when Salinger was missing. Wait, there's Salinger.
What are we even waiting for? He says as he starts to just go into the building and pull up boards and shift things around, hoping to find something where it might have seeped through, or a trap door, or some trick or a tear.
Seeing the fabric and knowing the weave, Ava will concentrate on. Oh God, this is such a waste. Concentrate on that basket, that thing that she knows that Seifrid always has on her, and she's going to cast a spell, reaching out. The shimmering energy around her sort of drops, and she tries to locate an object with a 4th level spell slot.
Oh no.
And yeah,
There's no such object within 1,000 feet.
she's not even like half a mile from here. There's no way that thing got away that fast.
And there's only one track of that thing coming in. There were
Yeah, and-
two, but just this one here.
I mean, and do you all know Saffron? No way that thing would have dissolved her right quick like that. We would have seen a bunny fighting their way out the entire fight if she'd been in it. She's got to be. Do I remember Seifrid?
Yeah, no, you know exactly who Seifrid is.
That's right. If whatever these things are, they don't seem to dissolve things of power. And she looks back in a little bit more frantically toward the stuff that had jingled out. Esmond picked them all up, right? Except for maybe the suit of chainmail, unless you took that too.
Nope, the chain was the suit. The suit is there. The other smaller items are gone. But Esmond and Beth have walked away. Probably not out of eye shot, but they've walked west.
Charlotte dashes back toward that area and like scuffs around in the snow for a bit, and then shakes her head and says, "I don't see any of the stuff that she carried. She had some things of magic, right? And they're not here. And I remember there was that crack in the air before we saw it. Maybe the same thing. But I only remember. I think I only have. I don't know."
Well,
sputters off.
Ava tried to do the location thing. We've seen that spell. So you were right, Schlotty. If there's any of her magic things around, then we would have been able to tell. And Peach kind of looks up over at Sal. Sal, do you remember anything from yesterday? From a couple hours ago? When we all thought you were missing? What do you remember happening during those couple hours?
Perfectly normal day. I moved back, went to rest, woke up, you'd fallen asleep on watch. What's this have to do with Seifrid? That slime cube thing, the second one that we accidentally split in half, dragged her off somewhere. We just need to find her.
Or
You
she
know-
slipped through some kind of thing.
Yeah, there's no way that thing. It's too slow to have gotten far enough away for me not to be able to sense it. If
There was only the one that came here. That one, and she points at the pile of goo and the extra faces.
Ava can sense anything in a half a mile roundabout.
sorry, let's say more like a fifth of a mile. Sorry.
Peach isn't good with math either. She's just trying to boost Ava's confidence.
Thanks.
I mean, the planet's so big, maybe 1,000. Who knows how long?
Well, then just get Ez over here with this lightning dynamite and we'll crack open whatever hole it slithered through. Or she ran through.
Is there... I guess we'll just look for a tear and see where it went through. Ez, do you have any, like, help us figure out where that thing is? Like, where a portal would open up?
Esmond and Kibeth have walked away.
Oh,
Esmond leading the way to inspect something.
okay. Then she turns to ask that and realizes that they are not there. Wait, where did they go?
You saw them go west.
Oh, okay. Yeah. We have to try to either catch up with them or something. What should we do?
We should stay together. Yeah, let's go follow them west.
I'm like spent. I can't keep fighting stuff.
Stay behind me.
You-
I still have energy.
You need one of us to carry you again.
No, I don't need to carry. Just tired.
Shalate
wait.
is going to, like, sort of half crouch in front of her and make that gesture, hop up on my back. Piggyback.
She walks by her and like gives her like a small push on the shoulder, which moves Ava more than Shalati.
We'll proceed with extreme caution, and we'll try not to get into a fight at all. But we can't rest if Seifert is missing.
Wait,
wait, who else
What's-
here?
Where's Casey?
He said something about fireworks.
Wait, what?
He was the first to run out of the building, I think. Do I remember Casey?
You reach to, where's Casey? And Salinger, you remember when Casey and Yev fell off the bridge into the depths in the tunnels beneath Shepherd's End. Esmond, when they mentioned Casey went north before naming day to follow after his uncle. Each of you have these fragments of memories, like remembered dreams of other versions of why Casey is gone.
Except Peach. Peach has no memory of an alternate Casey.
Oh, no, you would. Tell me what it is.
I suppose a version of Casey that that Peach dated instead of Shalati, and she ditched him but good before the last naming day, and now he's the ex she doesn't care about.
Araya remembers a Casey she does not get along with at all, and that's why he stayed in town.
He stayed in
that
town.
guy.
This is a memory that pops in my mind as we're moving west to investigate stuff.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. Well, yeah. While Kibeth and Esmond are moving, are we seeing anything to indicate like something that would be drawing the blob creature to it?
We'll arrive at that maybe in a second. I think because the others have experienced this before. Salinger, this is sort of a new feeling for you. It's unsettling. You remember distinctly. Casey and Yev never came back from the tunnels beneath Shepherd's End. You also remember just as clearly, just as real. Casey was here like 20 seconds ago. He talked about seeing fireworks in the west.
Sal stops dead in his tracks, reaches into his coat pocket, and pulls out the little notebook he's always writing in.
Mm-hmm.
Flips back to the page and date he remembers them falling into that pit under the bridge.
In your handwriting is the details of Casey and Yev dying that day.
Stories can't have more than one ending.
That's very unanthropologist of him. Shalati, as they're walking along, says, slowly sorting through the mess of her mind. Does anyone else remember Casey being here with us, or do you remember him just never coming back from the night of the jelly attack when the train derailed?
No, Casey stayed back in town. Why are we even talking about him?
Yeah, forget about Casey. Who cares?
He was here 20 seconds ago. That's why I'm at it.
Oh, now do we remember that we had these multiple memories of Sal and then Sal?
Yes.
No, Sal. So, in my memory, just a little bit ago, you didn't even exist. Your parents never had a child, and you just never were. So I remembered that you were and that you weren't. It's
Ridiculous.
No, but
I'm the
it's
whole.
now. Everybody had different memories of you. It's like there were like 8 different Sals that could have or would have existed.
We all had the same memory of you as you are here, as you are standing, but we had other memories too that were all different.
And we couldn't
I
find you.
remembered you dying as a kid, falling off a pier and drowning.
And I knew mine had to be wrong because I didn't remember a Salinger moral at all. And I don't know. Maybe my memory couldn't figure out a version of my life without you in it because that seemed just wrong as anything. No Salinger.
But when this happened, you had also disappeared. We couldn't find Poppy here either. All of the things that you had given people or things that had been written were just no longer. Wait.
I wrote you a note and left it in the temple to come find us at the tavern. Did you see that? Where were you? Yes, just a bit ago.
I haven't been apart from you except for when I went to rest up in that tavern.
And before you were checking your book, that I did the same thing when you were missing from all our memories and our sights and everywhere I wrote about you was just gone, like blank pages. So I'm just saying that it has happened to us too before. And Peach would take a second and rummage through her bag, shoulder deep, and pull out her diary journal thing and look to see if the Salinger pages have been restored. And while she's doing that, she would kind of mumble under her breath, I had the weirdest feeling that would I notice? And I noticed you were gone, Sal, but I almost didn't notice Casey.
And as you look through the journals, yeah, everything about Salinger's there.
What do I see about Casey and Cypher?
And everything about Cyfred, and there's some entries about Casey when the two of you dated.
Very interesting. Thank you.
Can I see if the note is still inside the temple? It's just next door to where we are. I'm just gonna quickly check. Well, no, that I don't want to go alone. I'm scared.
I'll go with you.
Just to check, I left a note on the wall. It was small.
Okay.
Charlotte will take her hand and trot quickly through the temple.
Yeah. So Rhea and Shalati head towards the sanctuary. Kabeth and Esmond, you two, you went through the first couple blocks probably, presumably with the feeling that there would be something right there and you would know why this thing was heading west, but as you pass through some streets, you're not really sure what you would be looking for. You do see a zombie townsfolk kind of meandering in the streets, and it sees you and slowly starts to shamble toward you.
I kind of poke Ez on the shoulder, just reach down and I'm like, can we just run away from this thing. I mean, I don't really have my armor on, and those things keep biting me, and it's just not fun.
Esmond will kind of place his hand over you, step forward, and launch a firebolt at it without saying anything.
There's a splash of fire and it takes its head off and it collapses to the ground.
Don't worry, we got each other's back.
Esmond protecting the fair damsel.
Yeah, I just don't want to be surrounded by a group of them again. Like, I feel very, very squishy and exposed right now.
As he did that, you notice that while he launched the firebolt, his eye line wasn't like set directly on the creature. He's still very clearly paying attention to his surroundings, looking for signs of anything.
Yeah, looking around, you don't. I mean, sorry. There is. As you look around, you see the town of Merewood much the way that you would expect to see it. There are now settling plumes of dust where the town was devastated by the earthquake. There's a cliff face in front of you that shears the town in half. Up above, still, the sky is cracked. There are pulsing trails and wisps, greenish light, sometimes tinged with teal or magenta, that seem to follow those cracks out from their point of concentration far in the north.
Beth is looking up at the sky and not around, and you hear her go, "Is this the end of the world? Like, is this scientifically just... Is this unfixable? Are we all going to die? This is terrible. I hate this."
Which of those questions do you want me to answer first?
Oh, whichever one you... I'm just kind of wondering out loud. I don't expect you to know. I'm just nervous.
Well, as far as if it's scientifically possible for the world to end, sure. Is it possible to fix it? Potentially. Is the world ending? It sure seems like it.
Just as Esmond is saying that, the people who were moving west to catch up with Kibeth and Esmond, you kind of coming into the scene.
As they're all approaching, Esmond will quickly say to Kibeth, "Hey, real fast. What do you remember of Cyfred?"
Uh, oh, it's kind of like... Well, I've got two memories, like with Sal, when Sal was missing. I remember her coming with us, and I remember her going off on her own.
Sorry, small correction. Cyfred, you don't have two memories.
Oh, no? Okay, sorry. I thought I did. I remember her going off on her own on watch. Like she was gonna go look around for more food, which was not a good idea for her to do alone now that I think of it. But I was really tired. Why?
Does Esmond have any additional memories of Cyfred?
No.
Just a theory I'm testing. O said that he saw something out here in the west, and he's going to point his wand into the air and launch another firebolt, full 120 feet that it goes straight up.
Yeah,
Was...
flares off in there like a little ball of rocket that never pops.
Remind me, what direction did we see that big creature that didn't come in the middle of our fight?
West.
Okay. Do we all saw it, right?
You've all seen it, yeah. The kids called it the Beast.
As shoots the fireball up into the sky, Gawette's like, "Ez, what if that big thing, the Beast, comes over and... Well, I'm not in armor. Well, you're all tired. What?"
Just look across the city skyline for anything. Just keep an eye out.
Do you want me to go up on a roof or so I can go see?
Just as Kabeth asks that, there's a single in the west.
About, can I estimate how far away that shot was from?
Farther than halfway, beyond, past the train yard.
Past the train yard. Okay. Oh boy.
That seemed far. I mean, if we're gonna keep going, we
definitely
should go
was.
get our stuff, right?
Yeah. Esmond will turn around and walk up to join everyone else that was walking our direction. Okay. I found what O was talking about, by the way.
Which was
There's a somebody launched a flare or responded to the flare I just launched way out west past the train yard.
Who's O?
No, we're not doing this again. Okay. Who all remembers Orthoclase Feldspar?
Yeah, but
Yeah,
Oh,
but
already
there
back from the temple?
oh shoot, yeah, you're right.
Yeah, sorry. Araya and Shalty are not there.
okay, who all recalls Orthoclase Feldspar? Sal, you raise your hand. Anyone else?
I remember him.
In addition,
Okay.
to your presumably unique memory, you all also remember Casey he was just there, like not long ago.
Do we still have multiple memories of Sal?
You remember remembering them, yeah. But you are realizing that those memories, the memories of Salinger that were not like the one that you all had consensus on, it's harder to remember. It's like a dream that's fading away.
Okay. All right, everyone, remember Orthoclase Feldspar, Casey. Oh, this isn't too different to what the rest of us just experienced with about you, Salinger. We all had two true memories of you. We all had one that we shared, and then we all had our own individual memories. The same thing that happened with you is now happening with O. But whatever happened with you, that is fading now that you've returned. So
so the two true memories of me were my dashing good looks and prompt and proper decorum in all situations. So with Casey,
I mean, that's just two of the two true memories that we had of you, Sal. Obviously, no. Like what we did before, there we all have multiple memories that feel just as true as the original ones. So, like I said before, is that we all need to focus, recall the memory that we all share, which is that O traveled here with us and he informed us of the flare that I just confirmed a moment ago.
Right, I remember. I'm sorry, I just forgot for a second.
No, it's fine. Don't it this very this doesn't make sense. Where are Ray and Shalati?
Over at the sanctuary, Araya and Shalati. You pluck the note off the wall. But you notice really something strange. Then your handwriting is on the piece of scrap parchment, but only like the corner of it is written, as though someone perfectly erased it along like a diagonal on the corner of the paper.
Chilani, look at this.
Well, wait, did you write with a pencil or with pen?
You know, with my quill, I mean,
With those
no, but
ink,
it's you can't erase Not like that, no. Do you think that...
Wait, so there's
You
no
think-
writing on it left, or?
There is. It's like, imagine.
Like... Can I give a supposition and you could tell me if Rhea is smart enough for that supposition?
Sure.
What if the weirdness that's happening to us has a limit to where it can go, and then that this is beyond the limit? Here. Somewhere around here.
What do you mean?
I don't know. I mean, it is as if the reality that was created here on this side where it's erased is a different reality than where it's not erased. That there's two.
I can neither confirm nor deny that. But what I will say is that the parchment that Araya had written on, it's as though it was perfectly erased in a perfectly straight line diagonally across the page.
Let's get our orientation from this diagonal, and then there's weirdness with Casey.
What is the diagonal point? How is it pointing?
It's kind of lower left to top right, I suppose.
Right, but I mean cardinal direction from where it was lying down, I guess.
What's if I was gonna put my left foot in and my left foot out?
And then you turned it all about?
Yeah. I suppose the diagonal would be running like north-south, but kind of down into the ground and then up into the sky. Yeah, but as you stick your foot through what would be that imaginary line, nothing happens.
Is the foot towards the erased side, toward the inn and the tavern, and the foot away is more towards the outside of town?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, like, there's a limit of how much this weirdness can affect
I think
us.
we need smarter minds. Esmond? Eva? Salinger?
No, they're way over there. And what if we take this piece of paper into the bubble of reality? We'll lose our evidence!
She raises her voice to call out to. I assume she can kind of hear them in the distance.
If you shout, you probably could. They've gone several blocks to the west, and you went.
Oh, okay.
You went back to the east.
Let's go get the others. I think
Right.
we're probably not going anywhere for a little bit anyway, since.
No, but if we're missing people, we
Just all
have
the
to go right away. We have to find them.
Well, we also still have to get our stuff from the inn, unless you feel like starving, or unless you feel like seeing Quebec starve, which I don't think would be good for anyone.
Right. Okay, yeah, right. I'm gonna, I'm gonna do another piece of paper. I'm gonna write some bullshit about Casey underneath it. Yeah. This is a test.
Whip out your parchment, and you begin to write.
Charlotte suddenly perks up as though remembering something, and then her head whips around toward where she thought that Cypher had lost Finn, and that where the scuffle had taken place.
Mm-hmm.
And then says, "Wait, there was one other time when Cypher and the Vashka both disappeared after the big thing. Aronakis fell on them. What if the same thing happened again?"
But Sal
disappeared, but we had two memories of him, and I don't have two memories of Cypher, do you?
No. So that means maybe Cypher knows where she's at.
Maybe she just went into that other area again. But I didn't see, but I wasn't looking for that slash, that hole that happened before. Quickly, write your note, and then we can go back and check.
Yeah,
and
okay.
Maybe tell the others about this strange note. And she gestures at the half erased one.
A mildly more angry note about Casey.
Okay. And so, yeah, you guys are working on that back over at the other group.
So interesting.
I imagine someone would have expressed that Ray and Shalati went back towards the sanctum, and so unless anyone else wanted to say anything, Esmond would have started moving in that direction. Oh,
I was going to ask, do we properly remember Araya and Shalati?
You think for a moment. No. I remember them just.
All right, yeah. Peach, yeah. Thinks better of a joke she was going to make.
Yeah. Babette's kind of like, well, obviously, we've got to eventually go find Casey, but since he decided to go off on his own, he's on his own for now. We got to go back and get our stuff. I mean, the food, the equipment, and then we gotta get Velatine and Araya. So, I guess let's all go. Let's all stick together as much as possible, so no one else goes missing.
yeah, if we can find the other two, we should go back to the tavern and get a proper rest, regardless of what we decide to do, and we need to figure out what the next plan of action is going to be, I suppose.
And by the time.
Maybe,
Oh, sorry, finish what you're saying.
maybe by the time we finish sleeping, it'll be like when Sal disappeared, and when we wake up, Casey will just be back, and maybe wherever Seifert went to. Well, we don't. I know we don't have that weird memories about her, but maybe she'll be back from what she was looking for too. She's tough. She's probably fine. She's probably fine.
I don't know. I don't like leaving Safford out there. Casey's
None of us
one
do.
thing, but Safford,
None of us want to leave anyone out there, but if we continue to struggle and try to find one another and continue to get into more fights, we're just putting all of ourselves in more danger as we continue.
All right. So you say this happened to me too. Let's at least do some sort of connection because I came back. How long was I
An hour.
gone?
timing is really unclear. It was maybe an hour and maybe 2 weeks.
And yet I had no adverse effects or memory of it at all. So they're fine. Need to kill an hour.
Let's meet up with Araya and Shalati first, and then try to formulate what we'll do next. For now, just
resting is good.
yeah. For now, just recall to focus on the one shared memory we all have of O, and the moment that you recall a new memory, something that or a second memory to something from a prior memory, just let the rest of the group know. It could mean something, it could mean nothing. It's better to share in this situation right now.
All right. Which memory are we
Yeah.
focusing on? That he came here with us and the time he stole the mayor's socks?
Yeah, that's the only right one, says Peach, and she's blushing a little bit.
I mean, we all remember that one, yes, but mainly just the one that he, came here with us and announced about the flare a short time ago. Let's find the other two and get some rest.
Okay. By the time you guys reach the sanctuary area, you see Shalati standing at the door of the store that Cypher had gone into. Shalati, you're scanning for that small tear, purplish and black tinged, like the thorns, tendril thorns that come off of Cypher's arms when she fights. You'd seen it before, a hint of it under the Great Oranakas, but you don't see anything like that.
Seeing nothing nearby, she's vibrating impatiently, basically waiting for Araya to finish. And then when she sees the other, she... Did any of you... Salazar, while you were in the other room where the fighting had been, where the one I said that Cypher hadn't left, do you remember seeing the sort of purplish tear, like when she and Avashka got trapped underneath Oranakas and went into that other realm? I don't see it here, but I think that's maybe another explanation? Potentially? Oh, and Aurea found something really. The note was very weird. And she also gestures inside.
Alright, you finished your note.
A very poignant period at the end. Set it just beneath, like, along where the diagonal maybe would have, like, kind of along that diagonal. The note covers the whole page, so I mean, like, Right,
So
right.
what's this?
Are you coming inside the temple?
Following Shalati's guidance, yeah. Esmond would have walked in to ask what was happening.
So I think I've got a handle on this. You see, oh, just listen and look. So I left a note for Sal saying, hey, we don't know where you're at, but come find us. We're going to go sleep in the tavern, right? And look at this line. So that's the start of my note. You could say, so what? We're that was so we can't find you. We're going to go sleep in the tavern. But look, there's a diagonal, and then now our memory is our memories are a memory, and so is the note, the physical note that I left. But like, I think that it's a bubble. I think it's a bubble. I think a bubble of a bubble. So I'm writing a Casey note. Don't read it.
Can Eva investigate the note?
Which one?
Not the one that she just said not to read. The other one, the first one with the disappeared stuff.
Yeah, you look to where she was gesturing. There's nothing out there.
What are you talking about?
This right here, the diagonal. It's
And when you turn back to gesture at it, alright, it's not there.
You saw me explain. You saw me explain.
Uh-huh.
It was there. I am not crazy.
Maybe tired?
No, I still have plenty of energy. What do you...
Well,
I mean, I'm tired of climbing a rope.
I just see the one letter, but I don't see the other
What
one.
if the bubble is centered around one of you?
What bubble?
The effect.
Yeah, bubble. We need clarification on what you're hypothesizing.
Okay, well, so when I was under the assumption that Salinger did not exist but could have existed, I wrote him a note for the Salinger that I thought it had existed saying, hey, we can't find you, and so we're gonna go sleep in the tavern. And that note, half of the note, no, Shalati saw the note. She saw, and the direction was maybe this foot in and this foot out. And now, so I've written a Casey note to test my theory. But what if the bubble's moving? And now the note can't exist.
I think
But you just
after
saw it.
gesturing anybody who wants to go inside, mostly Esmond and Ava, and Sandra, as she regards them as the brains. She also says to no one in particular, I'm going to go look at that room again, that building again. And she starts off at a brisk walk, heading back that way.
Wait. Oh god, I can't keep up. Wait, Solid. Wait.
Those buildings are right next to each other.
Oh, okay. Never mind.
But yeah, so I think at this time when Aurea had said that Shalati saw it, Shalati would be in the other room.
Don't leave me.
It's
You know what other people know.
just Aurea trying to gaslight us into some sort of letter that.
Sir. But you believe me?
I
Or
mean,
at least...
Yeah. If we've had lots of two things.
It's not a lack of belief in you. It's a matter of
What does it mean if
trying
only
to
half of it?
Or now
Well,
that
no,
it's gone?
trying to understand what you're telling us exactly.
Well,
I
now
don't
it's
understand what your
gone.
hypothesis is. But what is the hypothesis that you're working under that's causing whatever strange effect that is happening to your note?
That there's an area of effect. That we can leave it. That whatever's happening, there's a limit. That maybe there's a safe place to sleep that is outside of the area of effect. And this diagonal, until just a minute ago, denoted some place that was
No,
safe.
it doesn't make any sense to try to escape it, because if you're thinking it also moves, and we don't know where that is.
Well, now I think it moves, because now my note is gone.
Right, so there's no safe place that we could go to, because it
Or
could
maybe
move.
we just need to go more that way to sleep. Just more that way. This foot way.
I just want to sleep.
Yeah, but I don't want to sleep, wake up, not remember one of you.
I can appreciate your hypothesis, but there's no bearing on which to base it off of aside from
Well, something happened
guessing.
inside here and something happened outside there that was different in this spot.
Yes, but that doesn't necessarily conclude that there is a bubble
There's a place of
or
permanence, though. There's a place of permanence that's just that way.
how do you know that? That's my question.
Well, it's not. The line isn't here anymore because it's gone now. But maybe more that way. So I'm just
But the
saying
whole note is gone, though, is
that's
what
why
I'm
I think
saying.
that the limit moved. That's why I've got a Casey note now as a new test.
I'm going to interject something that might be redundant, but I just can't remember if I actually shared this in character. Esmond, as you're having this discussion with Araya, your mind is going to thoughts about the cardinal directions and barriers and partitions and things like that, and how you would even orient yourself if such a thing were happening. And you're for a moment drawn to thinking about the way the directionality of north had changed a little bit. You just have this thought. You realize that the day came much faster than it used to. You realize intuitively, maybe with not exactly a specific number yet, the night was shorter than it was before.
I love these hints that we are not gonna get.
There's it's I don't know if there's any merit to your theory, but you are there's the world is shifting in some way. Uh, it has been for a time now. The nights are becoming ever shorter as the days drag on.
Wait, that makes sense. Esmond, you're a genius. It combines exactly what she says. So, Rhea, yeah, okay. If there was a line, but it's been shifting, if the whole world is shifting towards that, it's just like the sun itself. It's like the night, right? It's imagine a sphere, and then like if there is if you're rotating that sphere, I'm not doing a good job about explaining it, but like just like there's a line that typically would go around the equator, like if you start to shift that a little bit, that line stays in the same spot, but it's still moving with the ball, and so there'll be a delineation, but it's shifting because of the I'm doing a good job.
Okay, so some static thing that's moving, but our world is moving in a different.
Yeah,
That?
we're moving towards like okay,
Oh,
if we're moving if the whole thing is shifting and it's causing the days to change,
and
then
causing us to lose our friends in our own minds. We're shifting into the place in.
yes, more into whatever that is. And if we move
Oh.
towards the tower, that'll be like probably more in that space permanently. That's the direction of the delineation. That's the area. Does that make sense? Think of okay. This is the best way I can do it. I know I can do this. Okay. The sun's shining onto the sphere, right? And half the sphere is in darkness, and half the sphere is in light. And around the ring of it is a line. And on one side of that line is darkness, and one side of that line is light. And if you turn the sphere, then the area where that delineation is moved. So that's what's, I think, happening.
Is this how I sound right now?
Probably.
But how do these two things how are these two things related to one another? How is-
In
how is
the in the corner, you see that Peach has prestidigitated a ball in front of her, and then another glowing ball, and she's trying to make it make sense.
Oh,
I don't.
Ava walks over to it, points at it. This one, right here. This, and then it starts to rotate. And she's like, imagine a line. She puts her finger on it and then draws it over, like it passes as she shifts. I can't even explain it in person right now, actually.
You guys-
As they're having this conversation, Shalati. Wait, are you even there? Oh no. Never mind.
I like to think that the conversation with us is making Esmond more confused and also dumb.
Yeah, Kabeth, seriously.
I just have to interject out of character that this is giving me flashbacks to the time I was in an escape room with my sister and my ex, and the two of them were trying to do math to figure out a puzzle, and I had no idea what the fuck either of them were doing, but I knew that they were making it way more complicated than it needed to be, and I'm just like, yeah, this is just like that time. Like, we're definitely, like Chris is like, I don't know what they're talking about, but I love that they're just arguing over something that I haven't planned for at all.
Oh, it's great. Kate does not understand it legitimately, so Peach is pulling out visual aids. I love magic.
Bad CD a snack. Carry on. Love this.
Just like that I'm trying to shoot with the big league kids.
So Peach looks up at the two orbs in front. So I understand, like, that's, we turn and that's how we get light, but how does that make the days how are the days getting longer then?
Ooh, Salinger, roll nature.
Oh boy.
As Sal is doing that, it is so hard out of character. It is so difficult to try to explain these concepts when I don't even have a camera that I can potentially use any sort of gestures. It is just literally trying to talk through a concept of different spaces with no visual.
Theater of the mind.
Yeah.
What did y'all imagine my bonus to nature was before I rolled this?
+5. Oh shoot, you're a city boy.
Oh shit! Look at you rolling.
0.
God damn, city boy.
Perfect. Salinger, you're very well aware of the dangers of passing beneath the awnings on nights when it's been particularly cold, it's been snowing, and especially when the temperature's like right, sometimes at that cusp of melting and not. You can tell by the delineation of partially melted snow beneath the overhang of the building. Nighttime is 3 hours long now.
Well, there was something to that spherical light and dark you were mentioning. You're no teacher, but night is... Could night only be 3 hours long with a sphere with an equidistant line going across the center anymore?
That's what I'm wondering. Is it? Do we move
It can
closer?
if the sun, as it has slowly been doing, is maneuvering to be in position directly over the tower.
No, but Ava says the planet goes around the sun.
But it does both.
So the sun can't move to be over the tower.
So
Correct.
the tower is
So
pointing towards the sun.
the tower, wherever it landed, is causing something to occur to the world where it is now pointing towards the sun.
A complete realignment of the basic physical properties that define the place we live. You know,
Which
Peach goes pale at this and just goes, "Oh,
this isn't scientific or anything. Never really was my forte, but Mama used to always say one of the things that held the whole world together was memory, stories, and songs. If the tower's redirecting the way light moves in night and dark, who's to say that couldn't unravel and rewind and reshape itself by that force as well?
I'm not saying it's not possible. I'm just saying that there is zero evidence to indicate any correlation between these two things.
Well, there
Hmm.
was evidence until you all decided to look at it. And I don't know what that means.
I got 3 answers and none of them are very good.
Maybe we'll do better if we rest, and I'll try to think on how to explain without being so confusing.
Yeah, 45 more minutes and memories will go back to normal based on what happened with me. I'll be fine.
What was that? It felt like forever.
We, at minimum, we need to potentially do the same thing that we did earlier, where we chose to not go anywhere, find a place to rest in the tavern, and wait for Sal to return, or we were going to continue our search after a full rest. He appeared before we got a full rest, but now O is missing, and Cyphered as well, and we have no indication as to where she is, and I refuse to believe that she's actually been killed. So my recommendation is that we all just go get a full rest. Again, a proper full rest.
I support that idea.
Yeah.
Well, since I
And
technically got an extra hour when I disappeared, I'm gonna give Shalati a hand for that.
Mm.
let's all go find her, and then we will gather our things and all hopefully get some actual sleep.
Yeah, Shalati over in the other building. What are you up to?
She is searching frantically for any signs of that purple slash in the air that she remembers seeing when they disappeared underneath Arnox.
You've been searching for a few moments now, knowing exactly what you're looking for. You start to hear some footsteps outside, and as your friends approach, you have not found what you're looking for.
She looks up as the others approach, and then looks down again, her shoulders slumping a little bit, and just pushes past them.
Yeah, you shoulder past Salinger, going out the door.
Well,
Nothing. Battered around some ideas, you didn't find anything here.
no. I thought maybe she might have gone to the other place, the other realm. But unless it's different this time and she didn't leave, there wasn't a hole. I didn't see any sign of a hole.
No tracks, nothing.
She points toward the claw marks on the rim of the door and says, I think that was her. You can see the little bits of fur stuck on the splinters and the claws, the marks of her claw here as she was dragged.
There are only, well, hopefully I'm right about this. The scratch marks indicate the same sort of pattern that a creature with the number of fingers that Cypher has. Because I think she has one less.
Oh, she's a fighter. Whoever she is, she'll come back again. Did last time.
The only hopeful sign so far is that we haven't found any of her magical things in the remains. But other than that, she gathers herself and then says, "Did you come up with any explanation for the half note? And or we should find someplace else to rest too."
Aurea has a very confident theory about
Yeah,
something about a bubble.
I didn't really understand that either. That's why I wanted the people who are actually smart to come and listen to it.
Esmond agreed pretty much unanimously, smartest of us. Basically says there's no way to prove that the forces that are affecting the various things we're looking at are connected. Maybe there's some sort of other force that's isolated here. Maybe it's part of the bigger picture, but we don't have enough information to know. Especially when the information keeps disappearing or getting replaced in our minds or on pieces of paper themselves, as has at least happened twice.
Well, she just nods and then begins to walk off back toward the others. Unless Salinger wants to stay and look around some more himself.
He's gonna pry up a few more boards, just kind of like make a mess of the place, and it won't take long.
She'll wait.
Peach will question what he's doing because they all went over there together. Salinger, what are you? Why are you making a mess?
Well, tears have shown up in all kinds of weird places. Maybe one's a crack in the ground we couldn't see, splitting a piece of wood, tear up a few boards, places we wouldn't look normally. Maybe that thin line she fell through will show itself.
Peach nods along and joins in.
Yeah. Having heard the explanation, Charlotte is like, oh. And then we'll start to tear boards as well.
You tear down to the foundation and the dirt of the beneath the building. There's nothing.
Well, at least I got a nice club out of this. He takes one of the boards with him, hopefully with a nail sticking out of the top, which is one of the most dangerous weapons in existence.
Because of tetanus?
Just a board with a nail in it, in general.
It's a Simpsons reference.
So is each of your characters... oh, actually, where are you guys... You guys said you were... Are you going back to the tavern or are you going somewhere else?
I think tavern to gather things, right?
Hmm.
On the way back, Charlotte will stop to pick up that chainmail that she had pulled out, and will look inquiringly at Peach and ask if there's any more room in her pretty flowered bag.
Yeah, what do you need me to carry? Folks keep giving me like big, huge things of armor.
Yeah, I suppose because not all of us necessarily need it, but someone at home might find some use from this.
Yeah, no, I'm not complaining, but we gotta get rid of this stuff when we get back to Ship's End, right? We are going back to Ship's End eventually.
Yes, of course. And we'll certainly parcel with that then. That is, after all, one of the reasons we came here, to find supplies.
Yeah, sure thing. And anything to protect those. Yeah. Hey, I'm not a fan of chainmail, but Yev could use it, right?
Charlotte nods. And help bundle it into the bag holding.
Each helps shove the armor in.
You are... sometime later, you reach in the midst of packing up your supplies, getting ready to move on from the Traveler's District and find a better place to rest.
No, I don't think we're doing that. We're just
Not?
yeah, we're just
Staying in
moving.
that same tavern.
Same tavern. We're moving. We're just going back home and going to sleep.
Shalati
Not
definitely would
listening
not
to
have.
Araya.
I would not have advised that.
You guys are all in the tavern deciding what to do.
Oh no.
The
Beth
long
has put her
suffering
armor
sigh.
on.
I think we should sleep south. New south. Opposite tower.
Well, then I guess we gotta leave another note or something and hope that this one survives, because if Casey comes back into this realm looking for us all, he's not gonna find us last place he saw us.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but Sal didn't know we were gonna come to the tavern.
also-
Sal wasn't with us when we decided to go to the tavern. We hadn't even decided that we were gonna go to the tavern. Sal just was, I came to the tavern with you, of course.
All right, well, where would Sifrid go? We've no thoughts that she might be in some tear or something. She might just be, hurt down an alleyway. She'd go back to the place where she was last safe with us. I'm not leaving this town till we find her.
We should stay put here for the night, or whatever equivalent of, I don't know, a while. We should rest here, because if our friends do come back, they'll know where we are here.
We've made a lot of noise though with all this fighting. There's lots of.
It was
trust
really
now.
silent where I stood.
I know, having the smaller ones, the ones that are just like dead bodies, they've been more docile. Isn't that true?
At the very least, I would like for us to go into a place that has fewer doors and windows for things to crawl in.
Those jelly things can get through anything.
Yeah, but there's some buildings around here that don't have any doors at all.
They don't seem to be able to get through solid walls or solid ground.
It doesn't matter where we go, we're always going to be in some kind of danger, the level of which is completely unknown to us. So whether we stay here in the tavern or we move on somewhere else, especially after Araya was able to perform that ritual, which, as Peach put it, turned the normal undead creatures relatively docile. We can move on, but I don't see an immediate benefit of needing to necessarily.
At the very least, and then we should all sleep in the same room.
Oh, I wholeheartedly agree with that.
I'll go take another
We
bath.
shouldn't.
Leave some hot
yeah.
water this time.
She pretends she doesn't hear that.
It's only
I can
been
board up the doors and windows if we need to. Sal holds the board he brought back.
it's only been an hour. There's no hot water yet.
I think whatever room they decide to spend the night in, Shalati is going to start moving tables and things in front of doorways and windows and whatnot.
Okay. I'm going to make the call just because like that it doesn't. In this particular instance, does not have any end up having a consequence for where you guys end up sleeping. So having boarded up windows, doors, things like that, you've settled down in order to rest. You're about halfway, a couple hours into sleeping in the morning light, when you hear a pop, like an explosion from the west, and you hear a roar. Somebody near a window sees a flash of something blue in the west, not close to you, up on the higher portion from the sheer. You hear a roaring sound. You feel the ground shake just a bit, and there's another pop flash of fire, just barely over the building's silhouettes in the west. Not near where you are. There's a fight of some kind happening. And that's where we'll end for tonight.
There's a fight of some kind happening?
To the west, where the
Interesting.
firework took
Oh,
off.
interesting.
To where Esmond would have suggested that we go had we gotten a full fucking rest.
Yeah, but I think that
We're still sleeping? I don't think that explosion things woke us up.
I mean, it doesn't sound like it's our problem.
In waking
Right,
up,
exactly.
in waking up, it would not interrupt your rest. You can get awake for part of your rest.
I'm imagining poor Casey and Seyfried are over there. They shot off a firework. They saw Ez's firework in response. They're like, oh yeah, our friends are coming. Okay, let's sit and wait for them to come help us with this fight.
It's
And then
blue
we
fire,
never
though.
show up. Oh, okay. Well, I don't know what blue fire means.
The blue, there was a blue flash, not specifically fire.
I think that more than likely, something happened. Seyfried got away, and then Casey was like, "Seyfried, there's this awesome event that's about to take place across the city. I figured out the best seats to watch it from." And that's what they're doing. They're just up there eating popcorn from a little ways away, watching the blue flash.
That's
Seyfried, I found
this.
this rip in the space-time continuum. Come through it with me.
Have you ever seen zombies rave? It's great.